24 hours in a day, and I get to do math, hey hooray. Y equals mx plus b with Mr. Ng, we're making history. Pythagoras, Euclid, and Gauss learn the math and you'll become the boss.
Hey guys, let's go over the Module 3 test version A. If x minus 6 is a factor, this is basically telling you r is equal to 0, x is equal to 6, and that's the same thing as x minus 6, right? So if that's the situation, then I can use synthetic substitution or division. I'm going to use my coefficients, 1, 7, negative 38, 240. And then I have 1 times 6 is 6. It gives me 13. 1 times 13 will be 90. 18 extra 1, 78. So that'll be 40. And then 6 times 40 will give me 240, which is 0. But what I want from this is this numbers, because this is x minus 6. This is going to be x squared plus 13x plus 40. Now if I factor that one, I'll get x plus 8 and x plus 5. So that would be, this is a factor, and this is not a minus sign, so this one's not a factor. Question number 2, how many imaginary solutions? So this is the one that does not cross the x-axis. You see that distance right there? So I have x to the third minus x squared equals 0. And you can do a couple things here. I think it's easy just to solve it if you can. And then set each of these equal to 0. Remember, you can't have plus or minus 0, so that's just x equals 0. And that's twice because it's a power of 2. And then same thing here. So those are 3 real solutions. And this is a 3, so the degree equals the reals plus the imaginary solution. So I have 3, that was 0, that would have to be 3. So in that case, I have 0. Use a graphing calculator to graph that. Before I do that though, I'm going to set it equal to 0. Do that to the other side here. Negative x, which is not a like term, and negative x squared. So x to the third, negative 4x squared, negative x, positive 6. Okay, let's go ahead and put that into our calculator. All right, I wanted to show you here that if you put the original equation into Desmos, it's going to make a mistake. And it's not Desmos' fault, it's actually yours. So if you put it in, you'll think it's only one real solution. Let's go put in now our new one, x to the third minus 4x squared minus x plus 6. And here are all of our solutions. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. And so I have negative 1.77, this would be C. Question number 4 tells us to solve. This is a 4th degree polynomial. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they all match. All right, 4 terms. And let's see if we can put this into our X box. It's supposed to be a box. And remember, these go in a Z. X to the 4th, 3x to the 3rd, 36x squared, and plus 108x. Now I noticed something, but I won't say anything until the very end. Okay, to make these two match, I'm gonna have to do x squared. This one will be 3x, and this one will be 36. And hopefully you recognize now what I forgot. And this is a great thing about math, it's very forgiving, is that each of these terms had an x in it. So I could have taken a GCF of an x, or I can recognize that I can take out the GCF here. X plus 3, and this one is x squared plus 36. Each of these I'm going to set equal to 0. Subtract 36. Take the square root of both sides. X equals plus or minus square root of 36 is 6, and square root of -1 is I. Okay, that one, that's x equals 0. That's a solution. And then this one, there's your solution. So -3, I have 0, and plus or minus 6i. So our correct answer is going to be D.
The following expressions are examples of either the sum and difference of cubes. Mark all that are an example of the sum of cubes or the difference of cubes. Okay, so it's kind of like multiple choice. A couple things that you need to remember. You could just write out the formula. I'll write them out really quickly for you. The sum of cubes is just a plus b cubed, and this is where I'm going to write it out, is my SOAP. Okay, so, and then I'm going to highlight this symbol so you can see it. S stands for same, opposite of positive, which is negative, and AP, which is always positive. Okay, and that SOAP actually applies to the other one as well, so let's just fill that out. So AB, A squared, AB, B squared. Let's do that for this one over here. Now we're going to have a minus sign, so A minus B cubed equals, what's the same? A, same is minus. Opposite of minus is a plus, and then plus. Okay, so it's just a formula you have to memorize. But SOAP's actually going to be in here. Watch this. It doesn't tell us how to start, but I can just eliminate problems based off of SOAP. Okay, let's write out SOAP. Same, opposite, always positive. Same, opposite. Are these opposites? No, so wrong. It's like a D. I have a plus. So what's the opposite of that? That's a minus, then plus. So if your B value is 4, 4 squared is 16, so that works. It's like the same thing over here. I have a minus sign, so again, SOAP, same. Opposite, this is opposite, that's good, and always positive, good. If my B value is 10, so this is going to be 10 squared, which is 100, that works.
What are the possible negative real zeros? Okay, so what I'm going to do is substitute in negative x first, and then we're going to count the sign changes. So 2 to the negative x to the 5th power minus 7 times negative x to the 4th power plus 6 times negative x squared minus 4 times negative x plus 15. If I multiply those out, remember negative x to the 5th power is written 5 times. Another way to do that in your calculator, if you're not sure about the negative signs, is just putting in negative 1 to the 5th power. And you realize the whole expression is negative, so that times 2 is just going to be negative 2x to the 5th. That's going to be a positive, so this one's going to be a positive. So now I'm just going to count the sign changes. Okay, we have one here, yes, no, and no. So we have one negative sign change. And if you did your chart, you can, but you don't need to. The answer is just because they're asking for negative real zeros. And that is all the possibilities. All right, back sign, use synthetic substitution. You can do this in 2 ways here. You're replacing every x value with negative 3. You can do that. So this is one way of doing the problem. Or you can use synthetic substitution. So 1, 4, negative 5, and 11. Bring it down, multiply, add down, multiply, add down, multiply, and I'm going to get 35. So f of negative 3 equals 35. Question number 8, find the solutions. So I'm going to try to factor and then let's see if we can solve. We're factoring a higher degree polynomial. Half of 4 is 2. I have 1, 2, 3 terms, so this is a trinomial. You can do it by substitution, but I'm just going to do this. Okay, so my a value is 1. B value is 7. Let's write out all the factors. It's half of that. Be these two. And negative 4. Remember that is splitting this term here. So I'm going to put 11x squared and negative 4x squared. X to the 4th and negative 44. X squared, it's going to be 11 and then negative 4. Okay, so we factored, and now we're going to solve. Setting each of those equal to 0. So this one over here, subtract 11. All right, so I broke up the square root of negative 11 to the square root of 11 and the square root of negative 1. Remember, the square root of negative 1 is equal to I. And you'll have plus or minus I times the square root of 11. So you have x equals positive and minus 2, and x equals positive negative I radical 11. That's 2 complex solutions, and you have 2 real solutions. And that matches the 4 that you started with. All right, factor completely. You'll notice you have 2 terms. You're missing a term, so if you notice I have 2 terms, you can't add like a 0p in this one. This one is a cubic. So 8p to the third. If you do a cube root, you realize that it is 2p. And this one is just a 1. This is your A, your B value. You have, so you have a difference. So the formula is A minus B to the third power. We're going to use our SOAP. So AS is same. That's what, so that'd be a minus. A squared, the opposite of the minus is a plus. AP means always positive, B squared. Okay, now I'm going to do my substitutions, and every time I do a substitution, I'm going to put it in a bracket. A value is 2p. Our B value is 1. A value is 2p, and we're going to square that. If you don't do that, you'll think the answer right there is 2p squared, which is incorrect. B value is 1. Uh, 2p times 2p is 4p squared plus 2p plus 1. And that's our answer, factor completely. Remember the second term there? That is not factorable. Number 10, sketch a third degree polynomial. So like x to the third. So let's get some characteristics. It doesn't tell anything about the leading coefficient. So I'm just going to assume it's positive. Our degree is 3. If you set those equal to 0 and solve, you'll get -2 as my x-intercept. And this one is multiplicity. So multiplicity is 1. If you do this over here, and multiplicity is 2. Another one you can do is just multiply the constants. 2 times -1 is -2, -2 times -1 is +2. So that gives me a y-intercept of 2. Okay. Also our basic graph. This is an odd, so the easiest odd is x to the first. So start down, end up. There's my basic. My leading coefficient means that these stay here. They're not going to flip. If it was negative, you would flip. Our arrows kind of verify it's a third degree polynomial. I'm going to have x equals 2 here, -2, sorry, and x equals 1. And then our y-intercept of 2. go left to right. Add the blue dot, it's multiplicity of 1, so we're going to shoot through. And then we're going to bounce off the 1. And then exit. And that's our answer. Hopefully that was helpful.
You want to learn to love math again? Go to Mr. Ng's website or to his YouTube channel. He will teach you to learn to love math again. Mr. Ng, the #1 math teacher in the whole world.